Hello there, you're watching our television. This is State of Business. I'm Pamudha Katangapala. Our top stories. Sri Lanka can be on a path to recovery by 2024, IMF Regional Director says. Government plans to implement new investor-centric laws. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now today's story is in detail. Now, the International Monetary Fund Asia and Pacific Department Director Krishna Srinivasan said Sri Lankan economy can be on a path to recovery by 2024, given the reforms are implemented accordingly. He said this while addressing the media on the sidelines of the Board of Governors' 56th ADB annual meeting in Incheon, Republic of Korea yesterday. The IMF Region Director said if Sri Lanka comes through with all the reforms, fast-track the proper implementation and wrap up the debt restructuring by September, the economy will be on a path to recovery from 2024. He said that the program itself is a very ambitious one in terms of fiscal, monetary, governance and social safety net reforms. He added that the IMF will be in Sri Lanka in 2 weeks' time to see how the implementation is coming along. He further said that the IMF will also be looking at the whole issue of debt restructuring. He mentioned the growth in the region will be led by China with a 5.2% growth rate this year after reopening the economy post-pandemic. The growth in the Chinese economy is expected to generate from consumption goods and not from its usual investment goods. He also said countries that are depending on Chinese travelers will benefit from the economic boom in China during this year. China has managed to make it to the top 10 source markets of Sri Lanka, securing the 6th position with 5,118 Chinese travelers in April, despite the slow rate due to COVID travel restrictions. Meanwhile, State Minister for Investment Promotion Dilum Amanugama said that the government is to introduce investor laws to attract more investments to the country. The State Minister said this during a meeting held at Hambantota International Airport recently. The State Minister revealed that a committee of experts has been appointed to introduce a stable investment policy and a unified investment law to make Sri Lanka the easiest country in the Asian region for investment. He said several new steps have already been taken for that, including fully established investor facilitation centre at World Trade Center West Tower, 27th floor. Further new marketing communication program to launch to attract 100 IT service companies and encourage 50 existing BOI companies to reinvest. The minister also said that many facilities such as the establishment of advisory councils for identified sectors, digitization of key investor services, modernization of existing zones to meet international green standards, and the introduction of a partnership finder database have already been implemented. He said that the government is considering a 5-year resident visa program for investors. He also said that it will be possible to achieve the expected goal of $2 billion this year. The State Minister emphasized that positive reform should be done in all sectors to suit future needs and that the President's new strategy for FDI will provide direction to achieve the set target. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the resolution presented by the President to publish the bank's Special Provisions Bill in the Government Gazette. The Cabinet approval for the Special Provision Bill was given at a Cabinet meeting held earlier this week. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies, requested to publish the bank's Special Provisions Bill. Accordingly, approval was given by the Cabinet to publish it in the Government Gazette and table it in Parliament for its approval. The move was followed by the Attorney General clearing the bill prepared by the legal draftsman. The proposed bill is expected to supplement the existing Banking Act No. 30 of 1988. The new legislation, once enacted, will strengthen the Central Bank of Sri Lanka's crisis management powers. The Cabinet approved the preparation of the proposed bill in November last year after the IMF highlighted the importance of broadening the central bank's regulatory powers and upgrading the resolution framework by setting up a special resolution regime for financial institutions, expanding resolution tools, improving deposit insurance, and enhancing emergency liquidity assistance. The IMF, in its staff report released in March 2022, said the finalization and adoption of the new Banking Act should help achieve these goals. An entirely new Banking Act is to be passed by the Cabinet in June 2023 and approved by Parliament in December 2023 as structural benchmarks. Stay tuned for more stories after this short commercial break. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now, Emirates signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau to support the promotion of Sri Lankan tourism. Now, the MOU was signed in a ceremony held at the Arabian Travel Market on the 4th of May. The agreement outlines a host of initiatives designed to promote the nation's tourism and trade industries and comes as part of the airline's long-standing commitment to Sri Lanka spanning 37 years. Sri Lanka Tourism Minister Harin Fernando, UAE Ambassador, Emirates Chief Commercial Officer and Emirates Manager for Sri Lanka and Maldives, Chandana De Silva, witnessed the events. The signing signals a deepening of a strategic cooperation between Emirates and Sri Lanka tourism forged in 2022. The MOU details joint initiatives and opportunities for collaboration that will enhance each party's marketing and promotional efforts to attract travellers to the island. Through the MOU, Emirates will develop programs to boost tourism to the Indian Ocean nation by showcasing it to customers across its global network. The airline will also engage in efforts to promote the country through its network of agents in key strategic markets, develop special packages designed to appeal to various customer segments. In addition, Emirates will collaborate on joint familiarization trips to raise awareness of the destination's offerings to audiences in key feeder markets. Now, the Sri Lanka Banks Association said it is relieved to note that the Central Bank of Sri Lanka's assurance that the banking sector stability will not be risked in the ongoing domestic debt optimization discussions. The SLBA made the announcement through a statement yesterday. The SLBA said the capital and liquidity of the banks need to be maintained sufficient to support the growth of the economy post-debt restructuring, together with the other necessary measures to bring the balance of payments and fiscal deficit into a sensible equilibrium. Presently, the banking sector is well capitalized with average capital adequacy ratio over 15% and a liquidity coverage ratio of 200%. The imperative remains to be that this position is not weakened. SLBS said it appreciated the efforts by CBSL leading up to the finalization of the extended fund facility from the International Monetary Fund. According to the SLBA, this has contributed to improvement of market sentiment and economic outlook for the rest of the year. It also mentioned the hard policy measures taken by CBSL to create the conditions for facilitating the ongoing disinflation process and to restore stability to the economy must be recognized. It said the challenges that the banking system could face in the period ahead if the envisaged balance of payments and fiscal reforms are delayed or derailed are significant for the banks. The SLBA went on to say that the banks take comfort from the regulator's assurance. Now, Nidahasa Janata Sabhava, one of the political affiliations, defected from the former ruling party led by Rajapaksa's charge that government is in an effort to make the PUCSL powerless, especially on power sector. Parliamentarian Dr. Charita Herath at a media briefing said that the government has already agreed the IMF to reform 52 state institutions. Nidahas Janata Sabhava claims that the government has received a blank check from the International Monetary Fund to do whatever it wants with regards to state-owned assets. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo, NJS parliamentarian Dr. Charita Herath said that under the proposed amendments to the Electricity Act, new commission which is controlled by the subject minister will be set up. The parliamentarian also added that via that, the rule and the control by the PUCSL on the electricity board will completely be prevented and make the PUSL powerless. However, he also said that the relevant ministry so far has failed to release the official document. MP Dr. Herath also said that he expects Subject Minister Kansan Wijesekara to tweet it at least as he does. He stressed that just looking at the government's behaviour, it is obvious that they want to strip the power which the PUSL enjoys as the regulator for the electricity sector. He also said that Sri Lanka's national grid and the transmission network are fully owned by the state and there are no private players. Dr. Herath said that any change on this, the government is bound to explain such decisions to the general public.
අද මහලොකුවට මහා බැංකුව ස්වාධීන කරන්න ඕන කියනවා. ඔක්කොම ස්වාධීන කරන්න ඕන කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. හැබැයි ස්වාධීනව හදපු එයාගේ ආණ්ඩුවෙන්ම ස්වාධීනව හදපු PUSL එක ඒ කියන්නේ මහජන උපයෝගිතා කොමිසම ඒ කොමිසමට මේ විදුලි බලය සම්බන්ධව තිබිච්ච බලය අයින් කරන්න තමයි මේ අලුත් යෝජනාවෙන් ඒ අය උත්සාහ කරන්නේ.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the stock updates. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The all-share price index gained 96.22 points to close at 8,926.58 and the S&P SL 20 gained 34.37 points to close at 2,593.44. The turnover was 0.8 billion rupees and over 46 million shares were traded. Coming up next are Forex rates. And with that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.